Wow, I just had a throwback. Memory jog of my childhood.
God is my source, God is my power, God gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. God gives me everything I need. I give. God is my source, God is my power, God gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. God gives me everything I need. God gives me everything I need. God gives me everything I need.
All right, welcome.
Thank you.
Nice to see you all out there. Happy Father's Day.
You too.
To you and anyone who, and Jerry, and anyone who has a father. So we'll get into that later. Welcome to the Center for Spiritual Living, where we honor all who practice their beliefs in faith and love. We do have a little thing that we like to do here in the First off, let's just check in with each other. Say good morning, happy Father's Day, and anything else you need to say.
2, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Like a fool, I went and stayed too long, and I'm all thinking there's something wrong. Ooh, baby, here I am, signed, sealed, delivered, I'm yours. Then that time I went and said goodbye. Now I'm back and not ashamed to cry. Ooh, baby, here I am, signed, sealed, delivered, I'm yours. Oh, baby, signed, sealed, delivered, I'm yours. I'm to feel it, babe, oh, baby, signed, sealed, delivered, I'm yours. Seen a lot of things in this old world. When I'm touching them, they dig nothing, girl. Ooh, baby, here I am, signed, sealed, delivered, I'm yours. Ooh, bless you, set my soul on fire. That's why I know you're my own desire. Ooh, baby, here I am, signed, sealed, delivered, I'm yours. Here I am, baby.
Little esoteric addition there. So please help me welcome to the platform our head of practitioners here at the Center for Spiritual Living, Granada Hills, Agneta Byland. So we're all going to take a deep, conscious breath, allowing ourselves to use the breath to anchor us in this eternal now moment as we come together for our call to service, which we call lighting the flames of faith. And we perform this ceremony to promote the universal consciousness of life, which acknowledges that all peoples, all faiths, all sentient beings come from the one great universal presence, which we call spirit. Fundamental to this truth is the unifying nature of all religious thought and experience, which we honor here this morning. So as Agneta lights the first candle, it's for the Tao, honoring the universal path of harmony and equilibrium, the natural way. We light the second candle for the shamanic traditions, honoring the beliefs and practices of all indigenous peoples, the way of primal spirituality. We light the third candle for Hinduism, honoring the path of knowledge, action, and devotion. We light the fourth candle for Judaism, honoring the ethical path of living by sacred law. The fifth candle we light for all forms of the fifth candle we light for all forms of Buddhism, honoring the Four Noble Truths and the path of compassion. The sixth candle we light for all forms of Christianity, honoring the Christ consciousness as the path of love. We light the seventh candle for all forms of Islam, honoring the path of submission to the will of God as the highest calling. We light the eighth candle for the universalistic religion of Baha'i, honoring the path of unity and peace. The ninth candle we light for all forms of new thought, honoring the metaphysical path of mental healing through the practice of universal spiritual principles. The 10th candle we light for all those who are as yet unaware of the power and presence of Spirit in their lives, and for the space we hold for them here at our center. And as Agneta lights the healing candle, please put silently into the light the names of anyone you wish to have experience the healing flame of God's eternal love.
In this moment, in this place, I remember I am letting fear and worry fall away from me. I open my eyes and I see there is only love. There is only love. Love that heals, love that sets us free. There is only
And today I speak my word in the first person as I am for each and every person here and each and every person watching. Knowing that this beautiful power in the universe that I choose to call God is with me every moment of every day. And is with everyone that I love and care about and those that I don't know all over the whole world and the whole universe. So as I know that today, I also know it's a beautiful day today to celebrate Father's Day, to celebrate those that have given life to us. I'm here because of that, you're here because of that. So we celebrate fathers today and say thank you, thank you, thank you. And not only our physical fathers, but our Father in terms of God and Spirit. So with that, I know it is a wonderful day. It's a beautiful day. It's a day to rejoice, a day to move forward and say thank you and to be grateful for everything that we experience in life. So with that, I know that all the good is coming and I am open to it and I receive it and I feel it. So with that, I say thank you, God. And I release my word in gratitude into this most beautiful love, this most beautiful power of the universe. I let it go, knowing it is already so. And please help me affirm this by saying, and so it is. Thank you. And welcome to Center for Spiritual Living, Granada Hills. Well, today I would like to talk about two things. First, Father's Day. Today, it's Father's Day here in America, not in all other countries of the world, I may say. We in Sweden, we have it in the fall, actually. And then I wanted to also talk about an easy way to pray. Those are the two things. But I'm going to start with the Father's Day. Jim Valvano said, "My father gave me the greatest gift anyone could give. He believed in me." And I thought that was so sweet, because that's how I feel about my daddy. He believed in me, and it gives you that oomph to carry on and to keep on going and to know that you can do it, right? So he was a wonderful daddy, and to all you fathers out here and out there, just know that being a good father is like shaving. You know there's something coming here. No matter how good you shave today, you have to start again all over tomorrow. I think that's how it is with child development and taking care of your children. So anyway, now I'm going to talk about an easy way to pray. Many times people come up to me over the years and they say, "Agneta, how do you pray?" And I said, you know what, there's no wrong way, there's no right way to pray. But people are worried about it. And here at the center, we do the 5-step affirmative prayer, which is really powerful and wonderful. But I wanted to bring something that is easy for people to do in a split moment. So I thought about it, and then I woke up one morning just a few days ago, and this idea was planted in my head. God is so cute. So here it was in the morning, and the idea was there. So today I'm going to demonstrate this idea for you. And this is a way that you can really easily send out love and prayers and healing thoughts into the world, and even without saying a word. And it's going to go like that. So you can do this for one person, for a big group. You can do it for a city. You can do it for the whole world. Doesn't matter. Whatever you want to do, you can do. So let's say that you like to send good energy and prayers to a friend. If you want your friend to have peace and harmony, just picture peace in your mind, how that looks for you in your mind, and then just feel it and just send it to your friend, and they will receive it. It's much more powerful than you can ever imagine. And if you want to send love, then you just think about love, just feel that love, and then just send it to your friend. So I came up with an easy demonstration, and before you do this, now I'm going to do several different things, but you can just focus on one thing, like love or light or harmony or whatever it is. So first choose who you're going to pray to, and then send good energy to you, and then picture your friend's face. Picture your friend's face, and then you're going to place these pictures of what you want to send them just around them. So I made a physical prototype. Of course, in your mind, as I said, you don't have to cut out pictures like I did. So here it goes. So first and foremost, I know God. So if I'm the friend you're going to pray for, I know God, and I know the oneness with God, so I can send that to my friend, and knowing that. Yeah, you laugh, but this is real. It's a little shaky, but and then on the left side I have a peace sign to send peace. I have a big H, and I drew kind of a person in it. Where is it? Here. Yeah, I got it there. So for health, knowing health, and green to me is health too. And then I have a heart here to send love. I have a light bulb somewhere here for ideas, for creativity for my friend. Then I have a dollar sign, which is pretty easy to figure out. That's prosperity in every which way, right? And then the sun says happiness, send happiness. And this is really, really, really easy to do. So all you need to do is just send this picture. Feel it in your heart and just send this picture. And you can repeat it to yourself, and you can do it with me. An easy way to pray. 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 Thank you. So don't ever think that you can't pray. It's this easy. Just make a picture in your mind, in your heart, and just send it to your loved ones or whomever that you want to have peace and love. Thank you so much.
All right, good morning, everybody. Nice to see you. Happy Father's Day. Please welcome our background singers today, Miss Terry Page. Yeah, Terry. Mr. Jerry Reike. Jason Goldstein on piano over here. Mr. Kent Moore on bass. David Olivas on keys and sax. And our special singer today, my old friend, Miss Brenda Moore.
Thank you. This first song we're going to do, and let me get the lyrics in order, is a song that was written by Eric Clapton. He never knew his father. And when his son was born, it was kind of like, well, how do I deal with something that I don't know anything about really? And in the midst of, as time went on, he wrote this song, and in his words, he says, in it, I tried to describe the parallel between looking into the eyes of my son and the eyes of the father I never met through the chain of our blood. So here's Eric Clapton's My Father's Eyes.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Sailing down behind the sun, waiting for the prince to come, praying for the healing rain to restore my soul again. Just a toy rag on the run. How did I get here? What have I done? When will all my hopes arise? How will I know him when I look into my Father's eyes?
My Father's eyes.
My Father's eyes. When I look my Father's eyes.
Into my Father's eyes.
My Father's eyes. Then the light begins to shine, and I hear those ancient lullabies. And as I watch the seedling grow, feel my heart start to overflow. Where do I find the words to say? How do I teach him? What do we play? Bit by bit, I'd realize that's when I need them. That's when I need my Father's eyes. My Father's eyes. That's when I need my Father's eyes. My Father's eyes. Then the jagged edge appears through the distant clouds of tears. Now I'm like a bridge that was washed away. My foundations were made of clay. As my soul slides down to die, how could I lose him? What do I try? Bit by bit, I've realized that He was with me. I look into my Father's eyes. I look into my Father's eyes. My Father's eyes. My Father's eyes.
My Father's eyes.
My Father's eyes. I look into my Father's eyes. My Father's eyes. Look into my
Father's eyes.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, Brenda.
Thank you, Brenda. Ah, well, looking to my father's eyes. That's what we do every day, right? So, thank you so much. Let's give them some more love. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's time to stand up. And there we go, our Declaration of Principles. And read it and feel it like you mean it. We believe in one universal spirit, manifested through all, natural and incarnated in us. We believe that the universal spirit is personal to and reveals itself through everyone who recognizes its presence. We believe that our faith operates upon the mind, which automatically manifests in our experience according to that faith. We believe in the unity of all life. Yes, we do. We do believe in the unity of all life. Yes. All right. So now we're going to sing. So keep on standing, okay? Let's see. And we don't have any words, so.
Release and I let go. Let the Spirit run my life. My heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for love. No more struggles, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life. My heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggles, no more strife. In my heart I see the light. I'm free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. I release and I let go. Let the Spirit run my life. And my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggles, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. And I'm free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. Yes, I'm only here for God. I'm only here for God.
Awesome. Give yourself a warm applaud and to
Nice.
the band. And for Reverend Mike, here he is.
Thank you. Thanks. Nice job. Let's give it up for the band one more time. I'll save the shouting at you for when I really mean it. Yeah. Well, There's a few things I'd like to do before we get going, but I did want to start out with this image so that we can all stay cool while we're in here. So just planning that in mind, and I was telling the first service that it was Bonnie Reese who once said she likes coming here because we have the best air conditioning in the valley. Yes. So never let hot weather keep you out of here on a Sunday, because it's true. It's like the movie theater, only no popcorn. So I also want to give a shout out for the really beautiful kirtan that we had on Friday night. Yes, many of you made that. So it was kind of the brainchild of Beverly Sperling. So many of you know Beverly. And I got to admit, I was kind of talked into it. Skeptical, but it was a beautiful, very well attended, and Erica did a beautiful job attending to the room, and Ken had some great music, and the musicians, of course, supporting him, and the singers. So it was really a wonderful opportunity. I think it's going to be an ongoing deal, so keep an eye out on your constant contact for their next outing, which will probably be the end of next month, I'm guessing. And so come and support that again. And if you haven't experienced kirtan, I really kind of felt it was really a nice civilian exposure, right? So rather than going to an ashram and having like the real, right? I mean, that's their practice. This is a real nice way for us to not only support other religions, but to get a little flavor of it here as well. So thank you, everyone who had anything to do with that. So, and today is a day where we remember fatherhood, and it can also be a day where we just simply recognize the gift of life that we are living. So I just want to take a moment to acknowledge that fatherhood's may be a lot different than this era. So that's like 1954 when this show came out. And look how they're all looking so adoringly at Robert Young. I know that's the way it was in my family. Right? Dad's with the tie and the suit and all that. Right? So even Ward Cleaver, remember he had the sport jacket and everything? Yeah, man. I don't know if it was really like that then, but I'm glad it's not today. So now this is my own father's version of Father Knows Best. So this is my dad here. Speaking of my father's eyes, I got everything else too, if you see that. And that's me there mugging it up. Yeah, I hated having my picture taken when I was a kid. So yeah, all those kids, one father. Right? Another old school kind of idea. And he was like 42 then. So it's a mind blower when I think about it. Yeah. So dear old dad, and now here's 3 generations. So last year in Ireland, that's myself, my dad, and my son Michael at McHugh's Pub in Glenfarne in Leitrim, Ireland. Yeah. And there's the old Chief Master Sergeant. So, you know, he started out cutting turf out of this bog down here in very mean circumstances, like Appalachian kind of poor, maybe even poorer than that, and went on to become a Chief Master Sergeant in the Air Force and a flight test engineer on the C-5 aircraft and the Air Force, and then L-1011s. So he was in aviation the whole time. So quite a story. My dear old dad. And I'm glad that I finally appreciate it with the way that he always wanted me to. So here's a little view of Ireland, so we'll get beyond that. But I did want to give my dad and my son a shout out. I also wanted, I mentioned this, well, I'll get to that. So celebrating fatherhood, we can either celebrate fatherhood expressing as Father Knows Best, that look of adoration and so forth, or we can use it as a day where we can heal old ideas around fatherhood, because not everyone got the best start. Eric Clapton never knew his dad. And I'm sure he addressed that as a father himself. And For we must, and heal it we must, for our parents gave us the gift of life itself, a gift that holds within it, each day within it, life holds the potential, the infinite potential for this day to be our best day yet. In fact, when we wake up, every day has within it the potential to be the best day ever. So, the potential to shift any challenge or situation into an opportunity to demonstrate the infinitude of Spirit to reveal itself in, through, and as our life. Right? So it's important to know that we kind of have to allow that to happen. We want to allow that to happen. That's a consciousness thing. And I also want to acknowledge that fatherhood looks a lot different today than it did back in the days of Father Knows Best. So today there are now same-sex families. The parents are same-sex. And that's almost kind of mainstream now, at least in California. Many families today are blended families or single-parent families. And I know that in my own experience, I spent a lot of my early adult life as a step-parent until my mid-40s, in fact. A time that I look back on fondly now, though at the time, I often allowed the responsibilities to burden me, to burden the opportunities for enjoying the sweet spot of parenthood, because I was just felt so burdened by the things that needed to be done. And I know that you don't have to be a step-parent for that. And of course, my own son Michael was raised by his stepfather, Bart Phillips, whom I am grateful for being a great provider and a mentor to Mike. So in our family, it really was a team effort. Team effort to get him raised, and then a team effort to get him through Washington State University. Go Cougs. So I want to underscore and stress also, in the strongest possible ways, I'm going to get off on a bit of a rant right here, but I want to underscore and stress in the strongest possible way the importance of men to pay child support. The importance of fathers to pay child support. You know, it's estimated now that 16 million children, some 22% of families, are now living below the poverty line in America. And I believe this is a child support issue, and which makes it also a consciousness issue. So I get that divorce is often acrimonious, and that pregnancies are not always planned, welcomed, or thought out very well. And at the same time, once the child is here, we need to help, support, and raise them. And I'm saying we. As a parent of shifting it back on personal responsibility, as a parent myself, paying child support, I had to heal my stuff around that. And in time, I came to believe that paying child support, like many things in life, must become like spiritual practice. Because I had to admit that in spite of my resentment and excuses, I had capacity to pay child support. I just wanted to spend it on cars or girlfriends or other things. So I just calling myself out on that. So that sometimes paying child support or taking care of anything outside of ourselves means maybe driving an older car or foregoing wants over needs. And I have a blog spot on this on our CSL website. It's called Child Support as Practice. It's also on Blue Collar Spirituality, which is a blog site that I have. So you can check that out. And child support can be, or maybe must be, a we issue in this way. That we can honor those who pay support. Encourage and acknowledge that they keep their commitment in this way. That we can challenge our loved ones who are bucking the commitment to keep it in loving and supportive ways, in ways of compassion, and in spite of our own stuff, and in spite of our own judgments around it. Because sometimes we have issues with our former son or daughters-in-law after divorce. Right? That it's important to continue to be supportive, important to continue to encourage the system that is raising our children. Because we're going to need them to pay our Social Security. No, we're going to need them. We're going to need them to grow up to be engaged citizens, to be engaged with their own life, to be engaged with the Spirit as we strive to be, to believe in our children enough to support those who are raising them. That we need to shift our consciousness around this, I think. If we are to create a world that works for all, I encourage each one of us to be supportive, to find ways to encourage and to chip in where needed. And for those of us who need to practice receptivity and accepting child support because we just don't want to deal with the hassle. And I get that too, because I was kind of one of those guys. But it's important that we do it. So, to support the idea that we are all one, expressing as every family. Because within each day of life lies the potential for today, this day, to be our best day yet. And why not make that a commitment for our children? The ones we're related to and the ones who are around us. So I get that some folks are working through family issues, that some folks, maybe other folks need a job, or not just a raise, or a raise. Some are dealing with health challenges or caring even for ailing parents, or maybe the essentials of life are covered, but we are still looking for that greatest yet to be. And what is certain is that we cannot shift any of it with the same consciousness that created it. So we may not know precisely how. We may not know the how precisely. And at the same time, we do have a sense that something is being called to be done. We may even have a sense of urgency that our life needs to shift in some way, even if we can't quite put our finger on it. Now, how to do that? How to access that? Well, I think first we have to cultivate an awareness that there is within at least a sense of restlessness within, at least that. A restlessness that wants to be revealed, that really is longing to be revealed from within us. And then we can open up to being shifted in some way. Now, notice I'm saying being shifted. Not that we have to do something to shift it. But in the beginning, we need to be open to being allowed to being shifted out of this old way, out of this old pattern, out of old tendencies of thought, to shift the life into the other realm, whatever that's going to look like. Now, I call this divine restlessness. Divine restlessness. And when I find myself in that state, what I want is insight and maybe a little guidance. That would be nice. Insight and guidance. Now, how are we supposed to discern that? We often talk about the indwelling presence of Spirit within. Well, so how do we tell the difference between a scheme, right? We're scheming to get something. Or that we're gathering evidence to support something that we want to do for our little scheme? Or how are we just opening ourselves up to Spirit? Well, one feels really intuitive. I think we know when we're scheming, right? and we're dreaming. There's a difference between a dream and a scheme, right? There's a difference between a vision and a scheme. You can't scheme on spirit. So, I want to open up to an insight or a guidance, okay? That I want to be open to shifting. So we want to be open to shifting our perceptions and or judgments. And if we're not there, we got to at least recognize that we have them. That we have perceptions and that we have judgments. And then I want guidance in a way that is obvious and in a way that allows me to know that it is in fact the divine nudging us to the next indicated thing. And I have found this easier to do when I embark on such tasks in community rather than on my own. So, an example, I can do yoga at home, but I do work much harder when I'm in the studio. Or I should say, when I used to go to the studio. All right? So I can stretch and I can work a little bit at home. I do have a mat and so forth. But I really stretch and work to my edge when I'm in the studio. So we can do this in other areas of our life as well. So on Thursday we started the Hero's Journey class, and it is my intention to create a field for the divine nudge to take place. And we have a mighty group, I have to say. I didn't do a count, but it looked to me like there was 30 or 40 anyway. And what I know about this class is, like others before it, that we, all of us, are going to benefit from it, from the work that these 30 or 40 people are engaged in, for a shift of awareness and the cultivation of commitment to work our edge collectively in heroic ways always pays dividends far beyond the scope of ordinary living, far beyond the scope of an individual life. So many of us have chosen the cave we most fear to enter. We've chosen that cave specifically to enter, for we know that is where our treasure lies, as Joseph Campbell said. So, this has been an interesting exercise so far for me, because we are tracking our money and the thing that we're wanting to work on. So, I'll just tell on myself, shall I? I could take your inventory if you want, but I think it's more healthy if I do my own. So, because I'll just make stuff up for you. Okay, so maybe I'll make it up for myself. No, I won't. So here's the thing. So my hero's journey is I'm looking to release weight, and specifically 10 pounds. So now I just made a public affirmation of that. So now I really have to do it. But it's starting with sugar, right? Starting with sugar. And I have to say, it has brought a level of mindfulness to the effort that I wasn't expecting. And initially it was, we have a member who practices the Islamic faith, and I was wanting to do like a Ramadan kind of fast, right? Until I saw that it was from dawn to dusk, right? And I thought, what an order, I can't go through with it. And then our friend posted on, and I love this, our friend posted on Facebook that his family made him a Father's Day breakfast so that he could observe his fast, right, within the family. And I got to tell you, isn't that awesome that the family would be supportive in that way? I don't know if everyone in the house practices that faith, but I just thought it was really awesome. And what a wonderful gift. What a wonderful gift. So I'm thinking about my own commitment in these things, right? And I have an envelope to put the receipts in and so forth. They're in my pocket. They're still piled up on the sideboard and so forth. But it's my intention It's my intention to get that envelope and start doing the practice. I've done my evidentials, right? So I'm doing the work. But it's taking some focus to do it. And it's not hard work. It's just focus. But there is, what I know about this is that there is uncertainty in such undertakings. Uncertainty in such undertakings. But this is where the juice is. This is where the juice is. In that uncertainty, being willing to surf that wave, to swim in that wave of uncertainty. For as humans, we want to know what's next. Right? Don't we? We want to know what's next. But that is not often how life works. Right? That old saying that man plans and God laughs. Right? Now we shift that here a little bit because we understand that God, when we are really into allowing these principles to be the rule of law of our life, which they already are in a conscious way, that we know that we are a player in the direction of that power. And yet there's still uncertainty within it. So the hero's journey then calls us to venture into that sea of uncertainty, to step away from the status quo and to answer the call of adventure that life can be. And like Odysseus of old, we may not know what the next step is. We may not have a vision. We may have a vision of where we want to be, but not sure how to get there. And this is a very exhilarating place to be, and just considering the possibilities can be exciting. But where to start? Well, Ernest Holmes speaks to this, that the way to work is to begin right where we are, and through constantly applying ourselves to the truth, we gradually increase in wisdom and understanding for it. For in this way alone will good results be obtained. Now, I love this reminder from Ernest Holmes, as it gives me confidence to apply these principles to the scariest parts of life. Whether it's applying for bank loans or creating a whole new class. This Hero's Journey class is my hero's journey. Right? Because I haven't had the confidence to step out and create. You can probably relate to this, Doc. That you have all this vast body of knowledge, and I want to create something new out of it, and to step into the authority of doing that. Right. So the root word in authority is to author. Yes. So stretching myself. And by doing what? How to do it? Well, by doing the next indicated things. So I have to say that these are two things that I tried to delegate out. The bank loan and the class. I wanted the practitioners to do a class. Well, but sometimes if it's to be, it's up to me. And the same is true in your own life. I'm just using mine as a teaching moment. Right? If it's to be, it's up to me. So I know that there is a pocket of capacity within you, each one of us, to step up in a much more dynamic, vital, and powerful way in life. And you know where that pocket lies. You know where that vein of gold lies. Right? But just like, I can't expect Stephanie to go to boot camp for me and I get the benefit, right? I have to do the work. I have to do the work. I have to do the work in consciousness, and so do you. So it's not necessary to know how to map out a vision. A vision is not a to-do list. A vision has within it a calling to explore the yet to be. So let's call our musicians forward. I'm just going to explain this last idea this way. When I was a remodeling contractor, right? So for 30 some odd years, I was a construction guy. Started out as a carpenter, became a building contractor, residential mostly. We would do remodel jobs, and I would find myself staring at something for a long time, like maybe 20 minutes. And this was a habit. And then I realized, actually, I think I was probably smoking a cigarette in those days, now that I think about it. But then I came to realize I was trying to do the whole job in my head, right? Well, with a job that's big, a big vision that has complexity in it and all that, you're not going to build it all in your head. You're going to do the next indicated thing. So I would get out my nail bar, take out the 2x4, cut all that stuff out, and then, that led to the next step, which led to the next step. Until finally I got a vision of, now I can bring people in, and now let's knock it out. This is one of the great things about doing these kinds of classes like the Hero's Journey. It gives us the energy to do such things. But we must start with the first step. So we must start, as David White says, we must start close in. To not take the second step or the third. Start with the first thing, close in. The step you don't want to take. Start with the ground you know, the pale ground beneath your feet, your own way, your way of starting the conversation. Start with your own question. Give up other people's questions. Don't let them smother something simple. Start with your own question. Give up other people's questions, including mine. Don't let them smother something simple. To find another's voice, follow your own voice. Wait until that voice becomes a privateer, listening to another. Start right now. Take a small step you can call your own. Don't follow someone else's heroics. Be humble. Be focused. Start close in. Don't mistake that other for your own. So let's take a deep breath. Exhale. So today, start close in. Don't take the second step or the third. Start with the first thing, close in, the step you don't want to take.
It's not time to make a change. Just relax and take it easy. You're still young and that's your fault. There's so much you have to know. Find a girl and settle down. If you want, you can marry. Look at me, I am old, but I'm happy. I was once like you are now, and I know it's not easy to become when you found something going on. Take time, think a lot, think of everything you've got, for you will still be here tomorrow, but your dreams may not.
How can I try to explain? When I do, he turns away again. It's always been the same old story. From the moment I could talk, I was ordered to listen. Now there's a way, and I know that I have to go away. I know I have to go.
not time to make a change. Just sit down, take it slowly. You're still young, that's your fault. There's so much you have to go through. Find a girl, settle down. If you want, you can marry. Look at me, I am old, but I'm happy.
All the times I have cried, keeping all the things I knew inside. It's hard, but it's harder to ignore it. If they were right, I'd agree, but it's them they know, not me. Now there's a way, and I know that I have to go away. I know I have to go.
So remember when we used to listen to that song? You know? And it's such a trip to be on the other side of that now, right? So I remember I was the young voice, and my father and I did, in fact, have kind of a contentious thing going on. As Mark Twain said, you know, when I was 14, I thought my dad was the most ignorant man I'd ever met. And then I turned 22. I was surprised how much he'd learned. So, yeah, right? So that was kind of my experience. And so we're doing good today. So as we prepare our gifts for the offering, remember if you are on the hero's journey, we'll take that offering on Thursday night. Until then, let's all go within.
I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed.
Okay, so going within and recognizing that the gifts presented here this morning are a demonstration of consciousness that knows and knows that it knows that God is our source, our substance, our supply. And so from the generous heart of the individual from which these gifts have been offered here this morning, we, as the heart of community, representing the heart of this spiritual community, accept these gifts with deep appreciation, love, and respect as we know they go forth. As we know together, they go forth to heal and to prosper, not only the vision and mission of this center, but for everyone here this morning, anyone connected to this center in any way, that we know this blessing extends to include our friends in our community of Granada Hills, our city of Los Angeles, our state of California, the United States of America, all of its churches, mosques, temples, schools, universities, the people who attend them, the people who support them, that we know for our planet as well, that it is all an expression of the one mind of spirit. And to the extent that we know this to be so, we see it and experience it in all ways, great and small. This lifts our heart. We feel a sense of grace that empowers us into ways of spiritual living that raise ourselves and others one day at a time. And together we acknowledge this by saying,
And so it is.
So please help me thank lovely Rita and the birthday girl, Beverly, today. Yes. She's 29 again today. Yes. Congratulations. All right. Come on in. School's out for summer, huh? Yeah, we got no principles. Can't salute, you can't find a flag. If that don't suit you, that's a drag. School's out for summer. Woo! Yeah, that was St. Alice wrote that song. Okay, so do we have a spokesperson? Yes, please. Hello, Kate. Nice to see you. Tell them who you are.
I'm Ben, and I was in Orlando last week.
Oh, my.
And we had a thing. we talked about problem solving, and we also did a spiritual prayer about safety. And we set goals. So we did this project where we had 2 strings, and then we had to get them untangled in order to get to solve it. And it's also a part of teamwork, and it takes a lot of courage to do it.
Great. All right. Thank you, Kate. Thank you. So, were you in the back? Are you going to speak for the kids in the back? What you got going? Okay. So, can I hold this up for you?
Yeah.
You want to tell everybody what it says?
If my heart had a mouth, what would it say?
If my heart... If my heart had a mouth, what would it say? I'd probably stick my foot in it. All right. So thank you, God, for supporting us all. That's from Maddie. Happy Father's Day. I love my dad, Paula. I love you, God, Erica. And my life is my life. Your heart is light forever by Chloe. All right. Very nice. Very nice. Thank you. Oh, let me give that back to you. Thank you, parents, for bringing your kids in. Happy Father's Day for our dads out there. And that's it. Circle the room, and Agneta will pray us out.
Oh, so please join me in consciousness in knowing that right here, right this very moment, we feel the oneness. We feel the oneness with Spirit, with God, with that powerful love that is so inclusive, that reaches out and embraces each and every person in the whole wide world. Wild world, yeah, wide word too. So knowing that we are one, knowing that we come together in love, in light, and in consciousness. And we move forward in this, and especially today, we say thank you to all our fathers. And we thank the fathers that are still with us in this earthly life. And we know that you go forth and you help raise a new generation of wonderful people. So with that, we know that this is good and all good. And I release my word into this most beautiful love, knowing that this is the truth, knowing that there is goodness, and we go out and spread it even more every moment of every day. With that, I say thank you, God. I release my word into this awesome energy, letting it go, and together we affirm this by saying, and so it is.
Please stand for the peace song.
Let's sing.
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, Like a fool, I went and stayed too long. Now I'm wondering if your love's still strong. Ooh, baby, here I am, signed, sealed, delivered, I'm yours. Then that time I went and said goodbye. Now I'm back and not ashamed to cry. Ooh, baby, here I am, signed, sealed, delivered, I'm yours. Here I am, baby,
Signed, sealed, delivered, I'm yours.
you got my future in your hands. Ooh, baby,
Signed, sealed, delivered, I'm yours.
Seen a lot of things in this old world. When I touch them, they did nothing, girl. Ooh, baby, here I am, signed, sealed, delivered, I'm yours.